The older I get, it seems the more I miss the simple things. The small pleasures that used to make me the happiest. Like going out after dinner and getting a soft ice cream cone from the Dairy Queen. Do you remember how special that was? Sitting with your dad or your folks, just watching your dad eat the ice cream and seeing him enjoy the rainbow sprinkles just as much as you did. Or did you, like me, we used to get them dipped in the chocolate that would turn hard? Nothing better. Have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten what it was like to sit on a curb with your folks? Or getting shoes on Easter so you could have them so when you went out to Easter Mass. Or new sneakers that you got at the beginning of the school year, the ones that you thought somehow or another made you run faster. When was the last time that you had butterflies in your stomach the first time you laced up your new sneakers? Do you remember playground honor? How you and the kids in your neighborhood used to live by a strict code, like the cowboys and the gangsters? What happened to those days? It used to be that the kids in your neighborhood belonged not just to their families, but to everybody's family. Every parent kept an eye on everybody's kids, kept them in line as well. There were always extra hot dogs that Dad could throw on the grill when you came home for dinner and you brought all your buddies with you. As I get older, I think that's what life is all about. Recognizing and appreciating that it's just the little things, like the extra hot dogs Dad can throw on the grill. Just recognizing the little things in life that make you so happy. Life really isn't made up of grand events. It's a series of events. Are you keeping a diary? Do you keep a diary? A couple of years ago, I started keeping a diary. And then I got busy, and I stopped. And earlier this year, I started 2 diaries. I keep one at work, and I keep one with me. And that way, when I'm too tired at home to write something down, I just make notes. And going back and reading it, it's amazing what things stand out to you. It's amazing how sometimes it's just the little things. It's had dinner with my dad tonight. He still makes me laugh. Life's made up of that. You know, it's the Wednesday nights sitting on the porch to catch a breeze. It's just the understanding, the recognition now of having your dad spray you with the hose on a hot Saturday afternoon as he's washing the cars. Way better than having a pool. Remember when you had to spray your feet off to get all the cut grass off? Because you had been running in the sprinkler. I think when we begin to die is when we forget that the magic of everyday life is just the dumb things we do every day. Do you remember when going to McDonald's was a big deal? As grown-ups, we think that, getting a cheeseburger and a shake is a quick and easy dinner. We can just grab something on the way. But when you're a kid, going to McDonald's, at least now, I don't even know if it's this way anymore. Because everything is so fast and fast food. But when I was a kid, going to McDonald's was a huge deal. It was a glorious treat. It really was. Regular life masquerading as a special occasion. I think I could use more of that. Somewhere down the line, we, as individuals, we didn't just forget about this stuff. I think our whole society has forgotten about what a special treat McDonald's was as a kid. When did we stop getting excited about a slingshot? Do you remember getting a slingshot? Most likely you got it from an uncle that always brought you the dangerous stuff that your parents didn't want you to have. And he'd pull you aside and he'd say, shh, don't tell anybody else. You remember lining up a Muggs root beer can? And you'd have a BB gun? I mean, that's what success felt like. The slingshot or the BB gun and hitting the can and knocking it off its perch. That was success. Somehow our kids stopped wanting the slingshots and started wanting, Glock 9mm. And it's not to shoot Mug root beer cans. At least in my hometown in Mount Vernon, when you got into a fight, you had to invest yourself. You had a bloody nose. You had a ripped shirt, and you'd have to go home and explain it to mom. Today, kids walk through killing sprees, living in the safety margins, making videos before they head off for their violent rampage. There's no explaining that to mom. Mom doesn't even begin to understand that, and neither does dad. But that's the stuff we see on TV, and the things we don't see on TV, and the stuff that is so undervalued is the good stuff. The basics, the wiffle ball in the backyard. The Fluffernutter sandwiches. The not needing a 50-inch plasma TV to be happy. I remember sitting on my folks' carpet. Growing up, we had this horrible avocado green shag carpeting. And I used to sit too close to the TV. I think it was an enormous 19 inches. And we sat too close to the TV because I was the channel changer. We couldn't afford Space Command. Do you remember Space Command? It wasn't a video game. That was the first remote control, Space Command. We couldn't afford that. You know what we had? We had rabbit ears and a pair of pliers. We had rabbit ears to be able to get the TV signal, and then because our TV, the handle had broken off, we had to have a pair of needle-nose pliers sitting on top, and I would be the one that my dad would say, Channel 4, and I would grab the pliers, and I would put them onto the little TV changer, and I'd have to change the channel that way. I didn't even know what UHF was. What was that? We had 6 channels. That was it. I don't care where you grew up. I bet your town was an awful lot like mine when you were young. And if we just allow ourselves to exhale, relax and stop complicating our lives with what we think is important and refocus our attention on what really is important, things are going to get better. We'll be happier. I know it. I can feel it. There is so much spirit in America. I have gone from really the pits of despair in this last year. In the last 12 months, I've been okay, and then I went into the pits of despair, and you heard it, to more optimistic than I think I ever have been in my life. Because I'm at the beginning of a journey where I just think I find myself reconnecting with my roots. I find myself pining for my roots. I find myself last night here in Syracuse, walking down the street, looking at it going, this is like my Mount Vernon. This is like my hometown. And I miss it. But you know what? I didn't have to be in my Mount Vernon. I was in Syracuse. I was on the other side of the country. And there was just something authentic about the stores. The transforming power of just the average everyday American. The transforming power of a strong family just enjoying an ice cream cone sitting on the curb. It's like, you know what it is? It's like the movie Field of Dreams. Once you believe it, it comes to life. Once you see it and recognize it, there it is. Grab a cone. Here we are in June. The next time you hear the ice cream truck, I don't care if you have ice cream in the refrigerator. Run out. Grab your kids. Grab a drumstick. The next time you're with your kids and you see an old, beat-up Dairy Queen, the one that really kind of looks sad because nobody goes to anymore, stop. Go grab a cone with chocolate jimmies or have them dip it in the chocolate. Show your kid how to find the Big Dipper. Reclaim McDonald's as a special occasion. Your kids are older? Sit on the front porch and catch a breeze. Remember what it was like before you had air conditioning. Sit on the porch with your wife. Hold her hand. Think back to the magic of that first kiss. Remind yourself that you're one of the lucky ones. You're the one that got the girl, and she's sitting right next to you. Do you remember what it felt like the first time you kissed her? If you remember it, if you really remember it, you'll get the butterflies in your stomach again. Kiss her like that again. Just take a moment and realize life didn't get complicated. You did. Everybody talks about the golden years. They're right now, as long as we remember they are. Life can be every bit as special as it was all those years ago, back in my Mount Vernon.